when you left, there was a hole deep in my soul. Now it is whole until the Super Bowl.
All right, we have made it to week 4 of Let's Have Some Football. So, another exciting NFL week last week. Lots of Taylor Swift at the Chiefs game. That was kind of funny. How many times will they show Taylor Swift on this Jets game with the Chiefs at the Jets? I say, like from kickoff to end of last second ticking off, I think they're going to show her 5 times. That's my over under. Anyway, last week on picks, it was a good week. I for a second week in a row went 11-5. Pretty solid, not incredible, but pretty solid. So let's just go ahead and dive into my week 3 NFL picks. And then we'll do like an update on the contest entries. And there has been a development in that. And we'll finish it off with the fantasy football update that I'm sure everybody really cares about. All right, so first, the Thursday night game, which was last night as of when I'm recording this. It was Detroit taking out Green Bay. I actually picked Green Bay. I did my picks before that game, and so I'm off to 0-1 start. Atlanta at Jacksonville. I have to go with Jacksonville in that game, the Jaguars. I think they'll bounce back from getting crushed by the Texans last week. Miami at Buffalo. Man, this is a great game. Just a lot of AFC implications here. I have to go with the Bills at home against Miami, but that is going to be a very interesting game. Next one, we have Denver at Chicago. I was not very impressed with the Bears. I watched the Chiefs versus Bears game, and they looked pretty anemic. So and I know the Chiefs defense isn't the greatest in the world. So I'm going to take Denver, even though they got slaughtered last week, giving up 70 points to Miami. I'm going to take Denver at Chicago. We got Baltimore at Cleveland. This one, I'm being impressed by the Browns so far. They've got a really good defense. I'm going to go Cleveland beating Baltimore, and Baltimore might be a little nervous time over there. Cincinnati at Tennessee. I'm actually going with the upset here. I'm going to take Tennessee. I feel like they're going to be in every game as long as Derrick Henry is out there. And I think he's healthy this week. Now, he didn't do much last week, but... Okay, so the Rams at Indianapolis. I don't know what's going on with Indianapolis. I have to go with the Rams in that one. Tampa Bay at New Orleans. I don't know why, but I keep liking to pick New Orleans. I'm going to stick with New Orleans this week. I think Tampa Bay is probably favored in that game, but I'm going with the Saints at home against Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. All right, Washington at Philadelphia. This is a kind of a no-brainer to me. I'm taking the Eagles in that one. Minnesota at Carolina. Minnesota's been very disappointing, but I think they win at Carolina. They get back on the win train. Pittsburgh at Houston. I'm going with Houston. C.J. Stroud is playing very well. If Anthony Richardson hadn't gotten hurt, since Anthony Richardson got hurt, it feels like C.J. Stroud is kind of stepping up as like the big rookie quarterback this year. I like Houston, that one. Las Vegas at the Los Angeles Chargers. I have to go with the Chargers. I think this is going to be a big game for Justin Herbert. New England at Dallas. man, how many people got knocked out of knockout leagues last week with the Dallas Cowboys? Wow, I cannot believe that they lost to Arizona, and I can't believe that I didn't pick them for my entry pick, but thank goodness didn't step into that one. A shocking upset to me, and then I think Dallas bounces back this week against New England, and I think they'll win this week. Arizona at San Francisco, please. This will be a 49ers cakewalk. Kansas City at the Jets. I mean, Taylor Swift will be there, so you know the Chiefs are going to be doing good. And Travis Kelce's going to want to show off for his woman. So I'm going to have to go with Kansas City at the Jets. Seattle at the Giants. I'm going with the Giants in that one. Neither one of those teams really impresses me, though. Okay, so those are my picks. Now, the next segment, this is going to be about the contest. Of course, remember, the prize is this Orange Prism PSA 9 Jabril Peppers Prism rookie. Looks really nice. The old color match, because it might be going to a winner this week, because we're down to two people left. Well, first we'll start with the one that dropped off. The defending champion, Winto. Week 1, he picked the Falcons. Gutsy pick. Week 2, 49ers. They rolled. Week 3, he first went with Detroit thinking they were playing the Bears. But he changed it. Maybe that was bad mojo. He changed it to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Jaguars, of course, got ousted by Houston. So, no repeat championship for Winto. Thank you for playing. Did great. Very impressive game picker when the pressure's on. But we're down to 2. One of them is me. Week 1, I picked the Ravens. I'm going to try to put up on the screen the teams that we picked so far. That way it's easier to remember, because as this goes on, there's going to be more and more teams involved. So week 1, I went Ravens. Week 2, I went Bills. Week 3, my Kansas City Chiefs. And then week 4, my entry pick, I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers. So I'm glad I didn't use them yet, because if Arizona beats Dallas and San Francisco back to back, I just cannot see that happening. I have to go with the 49ers as my entry pick. All right. So there's one of the finalists. The other finalist is Rangers Baseball. Congratulations, man. So week 1, he went with Dallas Cowboys. Week 2, Kansas City Chiefs. Week 3, Buffalo Bills. So he's picking some really strong teams there. So, Rangers Baseball, you need to make your pick. Just remember, you cannot pick Cowboys, Chiefs, or Bills. You can pick anybody else. You can even pick 49ers if you want, because we don't have a rule that 2 people cannot pick the same team. So, as long as you haven't picked them before, that's the rule. All right, we'll see who makes it through this week. If both of us lose, we'll have a runoff, like one more week. If both of us win, of course, we just go on to week 5, and it gets a little more interesting. Okay, fantasy football. So my fantasy team, week 1 and 2, was god-awful. I was the lowest scoring team in the league after 2 weeks. Maybe one team was worse scoring than me, but I doubt it. Just getting trounced. Week 3, the troops rallied. We won 143 to 90. We were the highest scoring team in the league last week. Incredible. Now 1 and 2. If you watched last week's episode, you know I was hoping for some big return yardage from some of my receivers. That's why I started them, because our league gives you return yardage also, in addition to receiving. And wouldn't you know it, Rashid Shaheed and Marvin Mims returned kicks for touchdowns. this is like one of my highest scoring weeks of all time in this league. 143 points, monster week. So we come in with momentum into week 4. And we need it because we're playing the highest scoring team in the league this week. The team that won or tied for the Super Bowl championship last year. There was actually a tie last year in our Super Bowl. And it was a complete tie, so we just had them split the championship. Very rare occurrence, but it did happen. So, playing the defending Super Bowl champ, the highest scoring team in the league this year, can we do it? We're going with quarterback. There he is right there. Russell Wilson. I'm going with him. He's been my high scoring quarterback, and I've not been playing him. Now he gets his chance. And he is at Chicago, which is a terrible team, in my opinion. Running backs. I waited 2 years for this guy to do something. Now he's on the Eagles, and he's balling. DeAndre Swift. Got to go with DeAndre. Running back number 2. I'm going with 3 running backs and 3 wide receivers, by the way. We have like flex type situations where we can play 2 or 3 running backs, and then I think 2, 3, or 4 wide receivers, and then 2. Anyway, I'm going with 3 running backs and 3 receivers. Travis Etienne, sorry. He had a good week last week. He's our starting running back this week. And also coming back again, Derrick Henry. He seems to be healthy. He had a bad game, but Derrick Henry is a monster. He's a tank. Wide receivers, we're going with our guys, our boys. They had monster weeks last week. Rashid Shaheed for the Saints. They're playing Tampa Bay. Marvin Mims, Denver. I got to have that matchup with that connection with Russell. And then Devontae Adams was fantastic last week, and he is at the Chargers. So that should be kind of a high-scoring game, I think. Tight end, I'm actually going with Darren Waller this week because I like their matchup against Seattle, and they're at home, and he's been fairly decent. He needs a breakout game this week, I think. Defenses, I'm going with my Chiefs. I'm not impressed with Zach Wilson at quarterback, so I think the Chiefs' defense should have a good game. And my kicker, last week I did switch to Justin Tucker at the last second, which cost me some points there. I would have had probably 150 points, but I'm sticking with Tyler Bass this week for the Bills. That Miami at Buffalo game, I guarantee, is going to have some scoring. All right, so that's the lineup. I feel like we have really good on-paper matchups, so if we can take out the defending Super Bowl champs and the highest-scoring team in the league, we'll be 2-2. We'll be, after 4 weeks of 2 terrible weeks and 2 hopefully awesome weeks, we're right in the thick of it for playoff contention. So, everybody, have fun, watch some football. Rangers baseball, don't forget to make your pick in the comments below. You know which teams that you can pick and can't pick. Recap, I am picking the 49ers for my entry pick. Let's have some football.